Hello and welcome to Chapter 3, the reading of the book Orgasmic Blueprint, Tools for Pleasure, Consent, and now I need to check my own book title for Tools for Pleasure, Desire, and Consent for Individuals, Couples, and Intimacy Professionals. So we have been going through 2 chapters before. You have been going through the Somatic Consent Engagement System, direct, indirect, boundaries and limits. And today, chapter 3 starts with the Polyvagal theory. So this is a kind of long subchapter. I do that in 2 parts. One part is today the introduction to the polyvagal theory, and then tomorrow it's probably a longer reading, but it's absolutely worth it because the polyvagal theory has changed my life and the life of many others. And when you understand the polyvagal theory, it just makes so much sense that everything is a neurological state that can change, and how this sensory inflow is literally influencing your neurological states. So let's begin. Embodied empowerment and spiritual development. The grounded and spiritual self in union. We are spiritual creatures, not spiritual added to bodies, but embodied spirits. That's a quote from James A. Altuis. Our nervous system is made to remain in only... Again. Our nervous system isn't made to remain in only one state. There are many different ways to experience life, and there is a neurological state for each. These stages can, depending on the situation at hand, in order to optimize our survival and enable us to thrive. From an early age, while still dependent on our caregivers, we co-regulated with their help. We cried when we were hungry or uncomfortable. We were fed, made comfortable, and soothed by them, and they helped us to change out of a dysregulated state until we were old enough to self-regulate alone. The challenge as adult is that the shift between nervous system states is often automatic, unconscious, and based on past experiences. And this can hinder our ability to self-regulate at times of stress and trauma. So when we become more familiar with ourselves in all nervous system states, we can learn how consciously change from one state to another in order to self-regulate with more ease. This is an example of biohacking, making small conscious changes that considerably improve your well-being. So we can also learn how to help others to co-regulate more easily in our presence, which is a great way of gifting our power so that others can live more fully. The polyvagal theory, surviving and thriving. If you want to improve the world, start by making people feel safe. It's from Stephen Porges. Have you ever just been going about your day, maybe working, chatting with a friend, or walking down the street, feeling yourself in relatively balanced, when suddenly someone bumps into you and doesn't apologize, sends a rude smile, or makes a flippant remark? Did that sting? How did you react? What did you say or do? How did you feel? Was your reaction instantaneous? If it hadn't been so immediate, if your feeling hadn't had time to settle, would you have reacted in a different, possible, more logical way? Did you later feel disappointed with how you reacted? I went shopping at the supermarket the other day and took along a bag of recyclable bottles to return. I remembered I had a bottle with me as I got to the checkout, and I asked someone where to take them, and he directed me to the back of the shop and on the other side of the checkout area. I hadn't yet paid, so I left my shopping where I was next to the checkout, returned the bottles, and came back. As I tried to pass through the checkout to get back to my shopping, the cashier began shouting at me aggressively. "That's forbidden. You're not allowed to pass through here. You have to go back to the entrance. It took me a few moments to collect myself. Then, in the quietest way, I said, no, and continue walking through the checkout to my shopping. Then, a loop of thoughts and feelings of fear arose. I really wanted to go and sit somewhere so I could digest the situation for a while. Had I broken a rule or a law? Was I rude to ignore the shouting? Did I want to complain to the manager? Did I want to apologize? Did I have to apologize? Did I want to leave or do my shopping somewhere else? I ended up paying at a different checkout, but the situation came home with me for a while, running a loop in my head and a knotty feeling in my belly. When an external irritant takes place, I'm sure you have noticed that at times yourself and others react immediately to them without any thoughts process at all. We already talked a little bit about the amygdala and fear when our brain identifies something as potentially dangerous, so we have to be able to react instantaneously. Why we do what we do is therefore by no means always due to conscious choice. Sure, part of understanding and steering the enigma of self is knowing your subconscious shadows, what triggers you to feeling threatened, as well as your particular flavor of reaction. But there's another cog in the human machine. It's called the autonomic nervous system. And this system automatically controls your unconscious mechanisms. Things like your heartbeat, breathing, and digestion. It is quite literally hell-bent on your very survival. Imagine suddenly a crazy storm appears on a sunny day. What do? Wrestle with an umbrella in the howling wind and pelting rain, or run for cover? And what happens if a powerful lightning bolt strikes the ground in front of you? In that split second, do you stop in your tracks? We automatically do whatever we need to do to stay safe, because in safety we regain a sense of balance and well-being. To really understand how we all tick at a very fundamental level beyond our usual conscious control, let's look at the Polyvagal theory from Stephen Porges. I shine a light on the struggle to know yourself in all your complexity. I let you off the hook for some seemingly irritational past reactions when at times your body bypass conscious choices in order to keep you safe. I'll give another layer of insights into the hurtful behavior of others, and I provide valuable tools for self-regulation alone and co-regulation with the help of others in times of stress and trauma, and reveal the delicious and blissful state of being beautifulologically, bringing together the scientific and the spiritual. I love the Polyvagal theory, I really do. The three branches. Stephen Porges' Polyvagal theory has been acknowledged within the scientific community. It is much more than expanded understanding of how the autonomic nervous system works. It provides groundbreaking knowledge for a more evolved understanding of the human nature. Key aspect explains why our body at times behave in ways we wouldn't consciously choose, taking us from the realm of perception to neuroception. It also provides incredible insights into how we can influence normally unconscious processes to greatly enhance our well-being. Porges says that our cultures don't understand safety and don't focus on it. Instead, they tend to focus on a threat. When we remove a threat, it isn't the same for our body as when it thrives in safety. We need cues of safety. We need refuge, and our nervous system is wired to get that need met through social engagement. Our bodies are not machines that need to be fixed. They are feeling organisms that need to feel safe in order to heal themselves. In the past, the autonomic nervous system was described as having two parts, the parasympathetic and the sympathetic. The polyvagal theory more accurately points to three parts rather than two, and this is due to the parasympathetic vagus nerve having two very different functions. Vagus is a Latin word for wandering, and apt name because this nerve wanders throughout and is connected to all the body's system. It begins in the brain and goes through the jaw, with one branch leading to the lungs and heart. The other branch continues down, connecting to the lower part of the abdomen. So one part of the parasympathetic nervous system is governed by the ventral branch of the vagus nerve, which affects body functioning above the diaphragm. This branch nerves the social engagement system, which helps us navigate relationships. It leads directly to the muscles of the face and helps determine expressions. It urges us to constantly seek safety in the environment we are in by initiating social contact through connection with others. When activated, we feel calm, balanced, and function as our optimal selves. Second, the sympathetic system is arousing. This branch functions in times of stress, fight or flight, but is also responsible for mobilizing in the body during normal activity. So the body needs the complementary parasympathetic and sympathetic function in order to remain balanced and sustain normal functions. Ideally, they work in gentle collaboration. And 3, the other part of the parasympathetic system is governed by the dorsal branch of the vagus nerve, a large primitive nerve that affects the diaphragm and downwards to other organs. When the sympathetic system is over-aroused, the dorsal vagus nerve initiates the shutdown and state of numbness that we commonly encounter in traumatic situations. So the polyvagal theory map that you will see in a little bit details the triune autonomic nervous system. It is a down-regulation system working sequentially from top to bottom based on cues of safety and danger. And there are two main functions of the three-branched system. One is survive. This function operates under conditionings of stress, enabling you to respond to a threat. And to thrive. This function operates under conditions of safety. So either or. Whether we feel stressed or safe at any given times is, of course, relative, as it's based on an individual past unique experience and perception and therefore entirely personal. One person's safety zone might feel terrified to another. How would you feel in the following situations? Would you feel some degree of stress, feel natural, neutral, or good, so safe? A big spider is walking along your arm. You're traveling alone in an unknown but peaceful country. Your lover is embracing you. Someone criticized the work you put a lot of effort into. A stranger approaches you on the street at night. You are standing on the edge of a cliff looking down to crashing waves. You jump from an airplane, parachute. You look at your beloved for a few minutes. You look into a stranger's eyes for 3 minutes. What kind of reaction did you notice in your physical body as you imagined the scenario? However you reacted, now that your body is watching out for you, even if it's a little overreactive at times, your nervous system is wired to automatically respond to keep you safe. So here is the map of the polyvagal theory. I just want to make sure that you can see it this time. Here it is. So there is a video that's in the description and I will post that later here. And I have a little video that I want to show. I'm so excited to take a moment and share with you my de-armoring and sexual empowerment coaching certification. This program has been around for almost 10 years and is my highest offering. Sexual wellness is forecasted to be a $125 billion industry by 2026. Why? Because Tantra is booming like yoga 20 years ago, and people are more ready than ever to express their sexuality, build deeply connected relationships, and have the most outrageous orgasms and erotic experience of their lives. However, most people are never taught how to do any of this, how to have extraordinary relationships and the sex that they really crave. They're looking for qualified, confident professionals to teach them. So my de-armoring and sexual empowerment coaching certification is a powerful 1-year professional program that helps many coaches become incredibly successful and highly paid professionals. This program doesn't just train you in every aspect of the coaching process so that you can build a successful online business. This coaching also walks you through the personal transformation of a lifetime, because the best coaches have done their work themselves. And on top, I show you all the tech secrets how to create a thriving online business. But first and foremost, you'll discover transformative techniques like the empowerment tools, meditation practices, and pleasuring pathway that you'll apply to your own life first. Then you use all the same proven tools and techniques to get laser-focused results for your clients. We also hold an exclusive de-armoring training just for our coaching students and alumni every year. In this training, you'll experience a 10-day of live teaching with other teachers and me, refining your skills as a de-armoring and sexual empowerment coach. So, if you feel the call to claim your spot in this multi-billion-dollar industry and transform not only your own life, but the life of many others around the world, get on the waiting list now at somaticarrows.com/empowerment coaching, and I love to see you there and welcome you. Okay, primal instinct, the human, animal, and neuroception. Despite our more advanced consciousness, we have similar primal instincts to another mammal. The vagus nerve used as mechanism called neuroception to process sensory information from our environment. And this way is scanning for signs of safety and signs for danger. And each time we meet someone new, our experience a new situation, our body uses neuroception to determine whether they are safe or dangerous. So neuroception is responsible for much of that gut feeling we get that we like to call intuition. Sometimes we get it right, sometimes we don't. Our bodies have a bias to recognize danger even if it might not be real, in order to increase our chances of survival. If we imagine this is the context of a traffic light, your nervous system reacts depending on how it determines a new encounter. So safe is green, all normal, go ahead. Dangerous or amber is high alert, retailed, or to run away. And life-threatening is red, shut down, and simulated death. This survival mechanism is an instantaneous and autonomic process, changing in order for you to respond, adapt, and stay safe. It affects everything, not only your heart rate and breathing, but how you perceive all your sensory signals: sights, smells, sound, taste, and touch. This means that you perceive the very same situation completely different depending on how safe you feel. So if you're feeling safe, someone might seem pleasant. But if you're feeling unsafe, the very same person might seem dangerous. A feeling of safety is dependent on many things. It's influenced not only by your personal history, but by the situation you're in, your general state of health, and whether certain needs are being met or not. Have you ever said yes to an invitation to go out and socialize when you'd rather spend some quiet time alone? Were you able to connect and function as you would if you haven't been in the mood? Were you less tolerant of certain things such as crowds, loud music, or remarks that people made? So let's look at the same branches of the autonomic nervous system, beginning with the first branch, the social engagement. A place of safety where we all aim to be. And when we look at both this unsafe survive and the safe thriving side of the other two branches. So the social engagement system. When the social engagement system is active, your ventral vagus, your parasympathetic nervous system, is dominant. And when there is a neuroception of safety, the ventral vagus nerve inhibits the fight or flight trauma response of the sympathetic nervous system to activate the social engagement system. In non-stressful situation, your body and emotions feel in a happy state as you go about your day with others. You're relaxed and your physiology is calm. You feel safe and good, and your heart rate slows down and your digestion is in equilibrium. The cranial nerve activates your facial muscles so that you can connect to others through face-to-face engagement using emotional expression and eye contact. You speak with a soothing and melodic voice, and the middle ear muscles also activate, enabling to pick up frequencies associated with human voices, even in crowded environments. Did you notice that? That's really fascinating. Humans are intensely social for a reason. We absolutely need safe interactions with another in order to thrive. One very important function of the so-called the social engagement system is to motivate us to seek support and connection, and this is a built-in mechanism for stress resilience. That's fascinating. Imagine a group of gazelles grazing peacefully with no apparent threat in their environment. They interact with the rest of the herd, eating, drinking, moving calmly and playfully. It's similar when we humans feel safe. Through social contact and especially through touch, oxytocin is released. And as a neutral anti-inflammatory, oxytocin protects your cardiovascular system by helping your blood vessels stay relaxed during times of stress. So oxytocin also primes you to do things that strengthens your relationship by fine-tuning your brain's social instinct. It enhances bonding and empathy, making you more willing to help and support the people you care about. So when you reach out to others for help or to help someone else, you release more oxytocin. In this way, your social engagement system enables you to not only survive, but to thrive in co-regulation. Through bonding and connection with others, your capacity for playfulness increases. Connection supports choice, intimacy, and empowerment. You more easily listen to and understand others. You eat and sleep well and feel open and curious about life in general. Without social engagement, ventral vagus activity, we cannot bond and feel safe. If we are continually disconnected from the experiences of face-to-face and touch interaction, the lack of safety renders us unable to relax, rejuvenate, heal, or function with balance. Comes in mind the kind of entire area about the lockdown and COVID, where social engagement was literally taken away and people were so stressed out. So because we don't have any kind of connection. This means that in times of social isolation, when we consistently disconnected from others, the nervous system automatically functions in a chronically unsafe state. And at times like this, the simple biohack of tuning into the inflow when touching an object can be literally a lifesaver. So when we touch mindfully, the afferent neurons relaying informations from our skin activate the ventral vagus and release of oxytocin. This creates the sense of safety needed to relax, rejuvenate, heal, and function with emotional balance. If you find yourself in isolation, it is essential for your well-being to have face-to-face time, even if this is online. And to awaken the afferent nerves in your skin by feeling an object with your hands or feeling somebody else's hand, wearing a mask and washing hands is always an option. Generally, if your neuroception signals a potential hazard, whether from a real or perceived threat, you leave your window of tolerance, your comfort zone, and your nervous system primarily reacts to operating within social engagement in the form of communication. In stressful situations that lies between social engagement and sympathetic activation, we often see protective and defensive behaviors such as appeasement, oppression, deny, lying, manipulation, control, and passive aggressiveness. Survive. So let's now look at how your nervous system functions when you feel threatened and go into a different form of survival mode. Okay, so the vagal break between social engagement and fight or flight or hide. The urge to hide is a state of the vagus or ventral vagus social engagement and fight or flight system. It occurs when we aren't feeling comfortable with a situation and it starts to feel overwhelming. It is a psychological state which brings with a feeling of being seen when you don't want to be seen and a sense of shyness. The shyness could stem from a sense of embarrassment or self-judgment. What this state also contains is the capability to be vulnerable. And due to this capacity, there's a huge opportunity for intimate connection and engagement if we choose that. So when we can acknowledge the urge to hide and choose to allow vulnerability, we welcome acceptance of self and integrate discomfort. And this can guide us into an expression of suppressed beauty, joy, pleasure, and self-acceptance. Okay, so this was it for today. First part of the polyvagal theory. Tomorrow I'll read more of that. It's really, really breaking through. It's a fantastic structure, and I hope you can get that. Definitely watch that video that I put in the description here of this video, and I put that as well in the video. And thank you so much for joining. Please like and subscribe if you haven't done so, so that you get a notification when I'm live tomorrow or the next time if you choose. And please drop any questions or comments in the section below. I will personally respond and answer them. So thanks again for following. If you have interest in reading the book, you get that as well in the link on Amazon and order a hard copy, or you can go on my webpage and get it as a PDF or as an EPUB, can download it and share it with as many people as you like. All right, that was it for today. Love yourself and see you tomorrow. Take care, much love.